The Precinct is from Fallen Tree Games. They've previously done a game in a similar style called American Fugitive, where you played a bad guy, and now you play, inverted commas, the good guys. But yeah, this is a top-down, kind of old-school, very retro GTA-looking game that puts you in the shoes of a rookie cop that you're seeing here who's just joined the station. And you need to learn on the job and climb up through the ranks, solve mysteries. You, in fact, have to solve the mystery of your father's death. Because, of course, it's a cop drama and it's set in the 80s, so it's very cliched and it's wonderful because of it. You do this, you set out on patrols, and it kind of covers all types of police work. So you do everything from, you like chase down drug dealers, you can hand out traffic infringements and parking fines, fines for littering. So all aspects of policing is covered here, even like checking people for speeding, that kind of stuff. It's surprisingly intricate, and it really opens up once you get through the tutorial into this kind of, I want to say cute, but it's not, like this cute sandbox. Maybe it's the top-down version, but it is cute. It's this adorable little diorama of a city that I really love being in. There is a main story, or there are story missions that follow the investigation into the main gangs in the city that you need to find evidence to progress. But the majority of the game so far, from what I've been playing, it just seems to be earning XP from this regular street work, patrolling your beat and upgrading your stats and adding equipment that becomes available to you back at the armory, back at the station. So it's quite humdrum and it's quite like day-to-day work. But I really, really enjoyed that. I enjoy the mundane aspect of this, going out on patrols. The city really feels quite alive, even in a kind of buggy way. Like AI is wonky, but it does feel like everything is constantly moving and there's life to it. There's always crimes popping up randomly everywhere. There's a great streamlined menu system that you sort of changes based on what interaction you're doing. So it's a sort of dynamic menu, but it's really streamlined and it's really sort of it's really helpful to let you do a lot of things with limited controls because, there's actually a lot you can be doing as a police officer. And then there's even a leaderboard at the end of each day when you go back to the station that shows how well you've been doing with your partner versus the other partnerships in the police office. Cool. So it has this classic like back at the station vibe kind of thing. Speaking of which, they really play into this like 80s nostalgic cliche cop drama setting. It's got all the tropes. There's the like stereotype characters. There's the old, I want to say Blues Brothers style police cars, but it's that kind of era of policing. Josh, if you scrub a little further forward and see there's like some on foot action, but like, or maybe not. Patrolling around, checking out the station, all the cliches that are there. You've got like cheesy saxophone music playing to really put you in the 80s mood. All that kind of stuff. There's a chief that's always riding your ass or something. I don't quite know. Actually, the chief's quite nice.
Are you one day away from retirement?
You are. You're always. Well, no, you just started. But
okay, right.
It all really suits the gameplay style because it's nice to be doing old-fashioned police work versus like a modern-day setting with like fandangled gadgets and all that kind of stuff. Like it's old by the book kind of policing. I really like that. I'm still relatively early into the game, and so all the patrols and the missions and the organic missions that are popping up are fun and fresh, but I can kind of see this game potentially wearing out its welcome quickly once you've done all the crimes and seen everything that there is to offer.
So you've done all the crimes?
Sorry, once you've solved all the crimes. Well, it is that thing. It's like there's a mugging, there's graffiti, there's littering, there's speeding. I think once you go through all of those, it's just variations of them randomly happening. They are fun to solve or fun to chase down, but I feel like that could get old quickly. So I do hope that the like main story maybe picks up some of the slack later on as you play along. And if that gets more exciting, I hope that stays engaging, especially because that's where the presentation kind of falters a little bit. It's a little undercooked. The cutscenes are like portraits and dialogue just like this, and I can't really remember anyone. There's like the Sanchez and a Johnson and a Hernandez and an O'Connor. I don't know my name. I'm maybe Smith. I can't remember. But there's a Kowalski. Yeah, exactly. So there's, all these cliched characters, and whether or not I get into the story of this or just enjoy the sandbox of it, for now, I'm just really enjoying that sandbox style policing, just being a street cop. And I might even go back and check out American Fugitive now, the previous one where you're the criminal in this, because I really like what these guys have designed. I love this look. it feels like a retro game, but with some modern polish. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. I bought the demo. Oh, sorry, I played the demo and immediately finished. And I was like, it stopped me too early. I was like, I want more. So I went and bought the game, and
That's a good demo.
It's a good demo. It's still surprising me at this point, with lots of little fun elements of it. I was cackling in my office playing a little bit before we came down to shoot, because I realized that when you chase crims on foot, they will run away. And at one point, they ran behind a building, and I thought, I came around the building and they were gone. And I thought, game's buggy. You know, that guy's disappeared. He's just vanished into thin air. I played a little later, and I caught a crim jumping into a dumpster, and I was like, "What? You can? They will try and hide in a dumpster." And so I realized that guy didn't actually bug out. He got away. He actually hid from me. Oh my
god!
So it's got really like charming touches everywhere, like that. The combat, the shooting stuff is loose and not great, but I don't think it's really the emphasis. Like, you shouldn't be in shootouts as much as you should be giving, parking tickets, which...
All I can think watching this footage is I want Rockstar to give this team the license to make a GTA side story.
Yeah, totally.
Remake 1 or something. Like, go back and remake some
stories
games.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
that was Chinatown Wars.
That's it. That's the one.
Chinatown
Yeah,
That's the one that
Wars.
went into the isometric and was like the last bit of. But Liberty City Stories, I think they did a semi top-down one.
I think
but
so.
This is the right angle. Like, it's top-down, but you do get to still have shootouts. You can get in a chopper and fly over it all, and so like it's a cute diorama of a city that just feels alive.
As a cop, can you do things that are wrong? Like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You've received this bribe. You're a crooked cop.
Yeah,
If
can
you
you be
do
a crooked cop, aka a cop?
You shoot someone, it goes game over, you restart. So
Gotcha.
it goes pretty hard on the like breaking those laws. However, the smaller details, like you pull someone over because they were speeding, you then take them out of the car. You can if they smell alcohol on their breath indicated on the menu, you can then breathalyze them, find out that they're under the influence. You then in that same menu have to go in and charge them before you arrest them. So you go and go, driving offences, you were DIY, DUI.
You got to read them their rights.
You've got to read. You get a button press to read them the rights.
Oh, no way.
If you didn't do that, if you didn't read them their rights and you breathalyze them without smelling alcohol, when you get the XP for arresting them, it goes arrested someone for speeding, tick, XP. Breathalyzing them, tick. They had alcohol in the breath. You didn't read their rights, minus 50 XP. You didn't check their license before you got them out of the car, minus 50 XP. So
That's like with when we played That's Not My Neighbor. You've played That's Not My Neighbor,
That's Not My Neighbor, yeah.
Like you'll get like a lower grade if you don't tick all
everything
of the
right.
Yeah.
You got to tick all the boxes.
Yeah.
You can totally you can stop someone randomly on the street, and I did that and frisked them, and they had a gun on them, and I was like, oh, so, there's a reason to just check everyone and do it by the book, but also...
We got quotas to meet here.
That's true, exactly. So, yeah, I think this game's at its best probably just doing the sandbox stuff. So I'm going to keep doing that, whether or not I play the story. And it does pull you into the story missions halfway through your patrol and goes like, oh, you need to do this now. So
We've played a little bit of this for a
playback.
Playback that's coming up soon as well. And I wouldn't mind being demoted to like just being like a city ranger and not a full policeman and just going around and issuing parking violations.
He really enjoyed parking.
Being in the sandbox is like really sweet.
It's weird.
Even with like the layer of 80s grime and obviously the in a modern sensibility, the moral conundrum of being a cop, particularly in the 80s, is like all I cared about was that person parked up on the curb.
He was so good at it too. I was like chasing down a crim, and Peter's like, that's mounted a curb over there. And I was like, we got out and went and wrote a ticket. And I'm like, okay, anyway,
forget the serial killer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fun doing the small stuff. I think that's what makes the rest of it feel
totally
like a fun game. It's not just. I thought this from the start was going to be bang bang, vroom vroom. You're an action cop in an action movie. It's not. It's like it makes moments like this. You're like, oh shit, lights and sirens, let's go.
That's awesome.
Can you be the judge of that?
NJ, fun fact, I almost became a cop after high school.
It's a fact.
It's a fact.
We have to assume.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun that she didn't become a cop.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I would love if they put this much effort into making a Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Oh, wow.
Chance.
In a shopping mall.
Yeah. On a Segway.
Right.
Yeah,
Car park is the biggest
like
area.
this much detail
Yeah.
and like all this kind of like mini shopping mall design. I think would be amazing.
You could
So like
Totally.
a sprawling American mall where there's like a big car park, so you can drive to different
Yeah.
wings.
on your
of
little
You've got a
Segway,
Segway? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's the next game.
See-
All right, True 4 games.
That's my dream. Is
James.
well thought out, Kevin James. Well thought out, well made, based on a movie games.
Yeah.
And we all know my dream is to play games for middle-aged white guys like fishing, hunting, and it turns out basic mundane police work.
Yeah. Oh, Gus enjoying a cop game. Fork found in kitchen.
I'm a narc. What can I say? Yeah,
He's a
it's
narc.
good fun. It's good fun.